Hi everyone, my name is Carole Freeman of Hypnotic Nutrition. I'm the creator of the 90-Day Keto Challenge program, and I'm here today. I'm interviewing Mikayla, the intern. We're going to hear about her keto diet journey today.
My name is Mikayla Fletcher. I am currently in my final year of school at Seattle University, and I am about to get my degree in sport and exercise science. Out of high school, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted to do something that involved working with people, so I decided that was the program they had at my school, so I went with it and really enjoyed it. But as I went through my classes, I discovered that I was much more interested in nutrition than in exercise. The program isn't very heavily based on, food and exercise. It's definitely just about how to become a physical therapist or an athletic trainer. They don't have a nutrition program at my school, so I just decided to stick it out and see what opportunities came my way after graduation.
Well, so you grew up in the Seattle area.
Yes.
What led you to choose Seattle U versus any other school?
Well, my first year out of high school, I actually went to San Diego State University.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, so big choice. Wanted to go somewhere else. I'd lived in the Seattle area my whole life, so I wanted to see what it would be like living somewhere sunny and warm.
Yeah. How was that?
Really nice. I have my aunt and uncle live just east of San Diego, so had some family down there too, and got accepted and decided to go.
Okay.
They had the same program down in San Diego. It's called kinesiology down there.
Okay.
Yeah, after a year, missed home, missed the Northwest, and out-of-state tuition in California is pretty expensive.
Bored of the sun every day.
Oh, it was awful. It's kind of stressful, actually, because here in the Northwest, when you have a sunny day, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to go on a bike ride and a hike, and I have to go swimming, and I need to go on a picnic and just do everything that you possibly can, because you never know when the next nice day is coming around.
Yeah.
So in San Diego, it was like that, but every day.
Oh, okay. Did everybody else feel like that, or did you?
I think, no, other people felt like they could just sit inside all day and study, but I got a little high strung. Never quite got over that. And it's going to be 70 and sunny tomorrow, too. And the day after that.
So you lived there a year, and then you decided to come back home.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, moved back in with my mom and my stepdad.
All right.
Got to use only about a 15-minute drive from my house. Was able to commute. I get along really well with my family, so.
Oh, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
You have a really strong background in swimming. When did that start?
My parents bounced me around from sports when I was a kid. Did karate, did soccer. Never really stuck until they put me on the swim team.
Okay.
And, we had a pool in my childhood home growing up. So really always enjoyed it. Did club swimming until I was, in high school, and then when it was on the high school swim team. And that same year, discovered that we have a water polo team as well. Did that the spring quarter of my first year in high school. Loved it. Thought it was really fun, and joined a club team in the area here too, and I've pretty much been doing it ever since. I played down in San Diego, which is a whole different ballgame if you know anything about water polo.
Oh.
They just make them bigger in California.
Like the ball?
The players.
The players. Okay.
Yeah. I went from being one of the biggest people on my team to the smallest.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it was very competitive down there. Now I just play on my school's club team, and it's pretty laid back. So,
Okay.
But yeah, I've been doing that now for about 8 years.
Okay.
So
you're a pretty good swimmer then.
I think so.
Yeah,
Not as good as I was back in high school. I think I
Okay.
peaked a little early, but.
Oh, okay. How did you get on the keto train?
I frequent a site that you may be familiar with called Reddit.
Okay.
And one of my favorite subreddits on there is actually r Lose It.
Okay.
It's a subreddit it's like a support community for people that are trying to lose weight and get healthy. I used to go on there just because I liked seeing people's before and after photos. It was just a very kind and supportive community. I never posted on there, but one thing I kept seeing with people who had these really great success stories was, I did it eating butter and bacon, and I'm like, okay, that seems really hard to believe. It seems like, what is this fad diet that's going
Yeah.
on?
So how long ago was this?
Oh, this probably was 2014,
Okay.
spring of that time.
Okay, almost 2 years ago then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Probably about 2 years ago now. I went and looked some up about it, found their subreddit, and read the FAQ, and was still not totally convinced. So I decided to get Gary Taub's book.
Okay.
And
Why We Get Fat or Good Calories, Bad Calories?
Why We Get Fat was the
Okay.
first one I read, and I think that's the less technical one.
So you read this.
Yes.
All right.
And was totally sold. You know, the more research I looked at, the more it was like, wow, this seems like something that, bar nothing, is worth a try. You know, what's
Yeah.
the worst thing that could happen? At the time, I was actually not living at home. I spent about 6 months on campus when I transferred there. I had my own little apartment. Well, I shared it with 3 other people, but so I had my own fridge, which was nice.
Yeah.
After reading the book, I was like, I can't wait to try this. Went out and bought some heavy whipping cream and some peanut butter.
Okay.
You know, had to start and step into it a little bit, but yeah, once I got going, it was like cold turkey. Started seeing results almost immediately. You know, college student, I stay up late every night and have to walk to my 7:45 a.m. class in the morning.
Okay.
So I just felt like I had like a lot more energy.
Okay.
I started losing weight. You know, I didn't really have like a goal weight in mind or anything, but that was a nice, nice effect. And my skin cleared up a lot, which was a nice thing too, because I used to have a lot of issues with that.
Okay.
It was pretty easy to stay on the bandwagon too. I mean, before that, my diet had been, you know, the healthy, fairly healthy, you know, what my mom had taught me, you know, drink skim milk and eat whole grains and eat lots of fruits and vegetables. So, you know, I was overall like pretty good, I had thought, but doing this seemed totally natural. Like, oh yeah, of course I want to put heavy whipping cream in my coffee in the morning and eat cheese for a snack.
Yeah. Well, so as a college student, it sounds like you were living with some other people that weren't necessarily following the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So how was that kind of going it alone, especially adopting something that's like the opposite of what most people think is the healthy way to eat?
Yeah, I kind of just did my own thing. We never really did like share food that much. So I kind of just had my own little section of the fridge, and it was like ground beef and bacon and cheese and
Okay.
So the only issue I had was when I would buy nice cheese and then my roommates would eat it. And that was not cool. And sometimes I used to try like baking something every once in a while with like stevia, or I'd make fat bombs and my roommates would be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't eat them, please.
Yeah. You won't like them.
Yeah, they probably won't taste very good to you. My roommates I just didn't really tell them much about what I was doing, or anybody really, for a while.
So you didn't get the typical looks of some of my clients share that people look at what they're doing on their plate and they're judging them, like, what are you doing? That's so bad for you. Like, you didn't get any of that?
Yeah, not too much. I guess they didn't see me eating that much. We lived pretty separate lives. When I would go to the cafeteria on campus sometimes and get pretty much they would always have some sort of like wrap or tortilla kind of station, and so that they would just lay the tortilla flat and put a bunch of meat and stuff, and then you could put your own toppings on.
Okay.
So I would always just throw a bunch of lettuce and whatever, like avocados, and then just eat off the tortilla and not eat the tortilla. And so people who saw me doing that were like, why aren't you eating your tortilla? I'm like, well, I just didn't want it, I guess.
Okay. So you just never even really kind of discussed it with anybody. You just did your own thing and you have much flack for that, and you didn't really make a big deal about it sounds like.
Yeah, I kind of just quietly switched over and didn't really want to have like the conversation with people or try and convince them.
Yeah.
Because it was working for me, so.
Yeah, so you noticed more energy, clearer skin, and weight loss. Anything else that you've noticed?
Yeah, those were the main things. And it was nice to have more energy, because then I felt like I wanted to go work out. Like, I never, I went to practice, you know, and sometimes I'd drag myself to the gym, but I never really, enjoyed exercise, I guess. And then after doing it, it was like, I have all this, like,
Yeah.
I just want to go lift some heavy stuff, or
Yeah.
I want to go run on the elliptical for half an hour.
For fun, yeah.
Yeah, because I want to.
Yeah.
Not because I felt like I had to, because it was like, oh, I ate XYZ and now I have to go burn it off. So that was really cool for feeling, especially for someone who was supposed to be like this paragon of exercise and know everything about it. I was like, I just never really liked working out that much. But
but you knew a lot about it.
Yeah, I can tell other people how to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So walk me through then what it was like moving back home after living on campus. Then you moved back in with mom and stepdad.
Yeah.
What happened then?
Well, yeah, it's because after I moved home, my mom's still eating, whole grains and low-fat dairy.
Yeah.
And, I was like, well, I want her to see, like, how great this is. So I told her about it, and I was like, hey, like, here's this thing I've been researching, and I've been trying, and it works really well. And she was really receptive to it, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Really surprisingly.
Maybe she was relieved to finally get to eat the full-fat dairy again.
Yeah. It was like, wait, this seems too good to be true, but I'll try it. And I think what convinced her was I started looking into how the research was coming out, how Alzheimer's, they're calling it type 3 diabetes now because of the excess of glucose. It's a family history. My grandmother's got it, great grandmother had it, and it's like my mom's worst nightmare.
Okay, yeah.
That to have it.
So she had a really big motivator to.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, it's been shown to prevent brain degeneration and diseases like dementia. Heart disease wasn't a big issue for her. She's always been really small.
Okay.
She works out all the time, super healthy. But yeah, so that was, I think, what really stuck with her. And she made the transition. We usually shop at Costco. So instead of, big things of, whole wheat bread, all of a sudden it was big blocks of cheese and big tubs of spinach. We've had mixed results with my stepdad.
Okay.
When I first showed it to them, they were, totally on board, and as long as we cook for him, he'll eat it. But he really likes beer and pizza.
Okay.
So he did it for a while, and he was a bigger guy and lost 30 pounds easily. And has managed to keep it off, but we're trying to get him to. You have to do it all the time, or it doesn't work.
Yeah. So he doesn't have any really big motivators like your mom does in preventing dementia or something like that. Yeah.
I don't think he's quite dialed in his why.
Yeah, that's something I talk a lot about on programs, and I've seen people that are really successful at keeping it up long term is having a really big motivating, a why, maybe something, a disease that they're avoiding or they're treating, or, a lot of times people are able to relieve pain that they've had for 5 or 10 years. And those things really keep you motivated to keep going. But, if you don't care so much about weight and you don't have a lot of health issues that you know of currently, it can be really hard to give up some of your favorite foods. And so for some people it's not a long-term change, but luckily he gets the benefits of that, of having you and your mom there that can help cook for him and provide him healthier meals. And
we're trying to push him a little bit, but it worked out a lot better than I was expecting, even because my mom was such a typical American healthy diet, I guess.
Right. Sounds like she was doing everything that she thought was healthy.
Yeah. Not eating a lot of fats, cooking with just olive oil. Yeah, eating all day.
Yeah.
Little meals. Yeah, so.
So what challenges have you run into over the last couple of years in trying to do this?
I'd say my friends.
Okay.
Not as in they are not trying to be supportive, but just going out and doing things. Like some of my friends and I, we really like to go camping or like to go backpacking. And so it's just difficult to try and plan meals around that. They really like, hey, let's go eat froyo, or let's go make some macaroni and cheese.
So what are some strategies you've developed then for surviving those? It sounds like a lot of the challenges around social situations.
Yeah, as anybody might have.
Yeah.
I just started bringing my own food.
Okay.
which people give you weird looks if you bring a Ziploc bag full of bacon somewhere. Actually, to some like social gathering where there's already food there,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Why did you bring your own food?" And I'm like, "Bacon tastes great." Or I'll bring macadamia nuts, or something a little less obtrusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people eat nuts. Nuts are healthy.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like a bag of potato chips, you bring your bag of bacon chips.
Bacon bits, which they sell at Costco.
Where do you see yourself going after you graduate with your sports? Tell me again the name of the degree.
Sport and exercise science.
Sport and exercise science. So where do you see yourself going after?
I know this cool lady that I might want to work for. If she would hire me. No, the dream would be, well, I have a few more prereqs if I wanted to, but get into graduate program in nutrition.
Okay.
Just to build up that credibility and that depth of knowledge, not necessarily about keto, but just about whole foods and nutrition in general.
Chemistry and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, my favorite. No, that actually would be really, really cool. So, yeah, that would be kind of a midterm goal.
Okay. So but you haven't enrolled for fall yet. So you're.
No, because I have to take those prerequisites.
Oh, okay. Maybe 2017 or so you might.
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for.
Okay. All right. So you got a year then to kind of play and figure things out and try some things and
see what's gonna happen. Yeah.
But no clear set like this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I wish I had it all figured out, but.
Oh my gosh, you're young. I was 38 by the time I even got my bachelor's degree, so you got lots of time.
All right, that's reassuring.
Anything else that you've learned about yourself during your keto journey? Things that were surprises, for example.
Something I forgot to say about what changed a lot for me during keto was not being hungry.
Okay.
And not feeling like I needed to eat food that was available.
Okay.
Like food just didn't have the same hold on me that it did before. Where you always kind of feel like I want to eat more, or I want to eat something that tastes, tasty, but even though it's not good for me. And yeah, those kinds of craving feelings.
Yeah.
Just food doesn't have the same hold on you that it does when you do keto.
Yeah.
And it seemed like your whole day is about what am I going to eat and where am I going to eat and how am I going to cook it.
Yeah.
And it's just it's crazy to think that you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much freedom. So many people, I think pretty much everybody who's done that, my groups or my private clients or anyone I know that's tried it, it's one of the universal things they say is just how much more freedom they have and of thought.
Yeah.
And how much more time they have in their day because they're not constantly thinking about what am I going to eat next? What do I want to eat? Do I need to stop and buy stuff? How am I going to prepare it? Where am I going to eat at this place or that?
Yeah.
It's just oh, I'm hungry. I should eat now. Occasionally. Instead of every few minutes.
Yeah. Or even if you get hungry and you're not in a place where you can get food, if I'm in class and I'm oh, I'm kind of hungry, and then you just let it go, and then you're not hungry again for another couple hours, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I should probably eat something. It's 2:00.
Yeah, so just a lot of freedom, and then it gives you the power to make choices rather than just being compelled to eat whatever it was. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it totally, learning about this made me realize that this was what I wanted to do. This was such an amazing thing that I felt like people weren't hearing about, and I was like, oh, this is totally, I want to tell people about this, and this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that was really cool for me, who was kind of I'm going to get this degree, and I don't really know where it's going to take me. And yeah, the more I learn about it, just the more things that it fixes every day, you hear oh, and now it's fighting cancer and IBS and Alzheimer's. It's just we need to tell everyone.
We're trying. Please tell a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting work to be involved in because
nutrition
definitely has a huge impact in people's lives, and then this keto niche is even more powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
and it's effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's pretty enjoyable to live this lifestyle too. It's
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sure enjoy having you here to help me out and learn from and teach, and I get to learn things from you as well. And
Enjoy being here.
anything else?
Sign up for Carole's program so she can hire me.
Yeah. Yes, we need more. We're open enrollment for our next group too. So thanks for being here, for letting me interview you and sharing your story of keto. I'm sure that in the coming years you're going to have a lot more to share about it too. But thanks everyone for watching. If you like this interview, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see some more. We'll be back soon for another taste test as well. So thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.